I guess welcome to my first fantasy football mock draft of 2021. I wanted to record a video. This is probably very poor quality right now because I am recording everything on my phone. But I'm just going to be running through a mock draft of a 10 team PPR fantasy football draft. And I'm just going to be showing you guys who some of my favorite players are that I've been drafting and just kind of show you what my method is. So the draft begins in 20 seconds here. To start out, some of the guys on the screen right now that you can see. So you have pick 1 through 9 displayed on the screen. And Christian McCaffrey, if I had the number 1 pick, which I actually have, I'll move my face here. I have the number 8 pick. So that means I'm going to be picking somewhere around the Devontae Adams, Jonathan Taylor, ADP, or average draft position.
Welcome to the best day of the year. Draft day.
There's Matthew Berry saying, welcome to the best day of the year draft day. And we're going to move my face down here. So Christian McCaffrey goes at the running back 1 or the pick number 1 of the draft. In the first round, I'm looking for a running back, but depending on where the running backs are, like I don't want anyone past Zeke here. Dalvin Cook goes second on the draft board here. Next up in ADP is Saquon Barkley, but he's injury ridden, and I'm avoiding him in all places of the draft this year. I'm really not trying to mess with his injuries, so hopefully I don't end up having him as like a possible pick that I'm kind of forced with as they draft Saquon right there. If he's healthy, he's going to be good, but I don't trust him to be healthy, and I don't trust the Giants' offense. Derrick Henry goes as the 4th pick in the draft, which is good for him. He just won't catch passes, but he'll get like 100 yards and a touchdown every week. Great for the team. Next up goes Aaron Jones. That's a little surprising to me because Aaron Jones has been going late in the first round in most drafts, and Kamara finally goes off the board there at pick number 6, which is really late for Alvin Kamara. But maybe these people have a method to their madness. I can't really figure out where to put my face here for the video. I think I'm going to put it down here. I think this works the best for me. Alvin Kamara went off at round 1, pick number 6. So I'm going to have 2 pretty close picks here. If Travis Kelce falls to me here and Zeke gets picked next, then I'm thinking that I might pick up a Travis Kelce. My thoughts here are Travis Kelce or Zeke. I'm not sure. Whatever one falls to me is definitely going to be my next pick. So he auto picks. Oh, he gets Zeke. So Travis Kelce here. For running backs that are on the board for my pick here, we got Jonathan Taylor, which I don't trust him without Carson Wentz or Quentin Nelson. And he's got Marlon Mack and Naheem Hines to compete with. Devontae Adams, I really don't want to pick pick a wide receiver in the first round here. Tyreek Hill, that's a wide receiver. And I don't trust Austin Eckler to be my I trust him in my running back 1, but not my round 1 pick. So I think I'm going to go Travis Kelce here. It's not a strategy that I do often, but I didn't have any running backs that I liked for my round 1 pick. So I'm going to be okay with picking a Travis Kelce here. Devontae Adams goes off the board almost directly after. He's probably going to be the wide receiver 1 again with Aaron Rodgers back. If I had to take a guess. Jonathan Taylor still sits on the board. He is dropping in drafts a lot, and I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, I don't see him being a superstar like he was toward the back half of last year. But right here with my round 2 pick, it's going to be my round 2 pick number 4. I'm looking at running backs here. Unless I get a really good value on one of these wide receivers, Tyreek and Stephon Diggs. But I feel like I need one of these running backs here because the running backs in the drafts this year, there's really, really, really a big skill gap, I guess you could say. Like there's like 10 or 12 guys that I trust to be my running back. Nicholas Chubb goes off the board before me. Tyreek Hill goes. So really, I got Jonathan Taylor as an option, which I'm trying to avoid. Antonio Gibson. I like Antonio Gibson. Do I want him as my running back 1? I don't know. I think he's going to get all the goal line touches. The offense is going to be a little bit better this year. Pass catching, I think he'll be good with that. I think I might go Gibson here, even though I do like wide receivers like Diggs, and I like Clyde Edwards-Helaire too. Um, but I feel like the best pick for me here is probably going to be an Antonio
Quick, make
Gibson.
your pick!
This may be a waste of a second round pick. However, I think he has a decent value. Sorry for the note. The draft here, we got Clyde Edwards-Helaire just went off the board. I missed a few picks there. I was grabbing my phone charger. DeAndre Hopkins still available, I believe. I'm going to be picking somewhere around the 27 to this range for the ADP. So I'm thinking maybe another running back, because once guys like David Montgomery, J.K. Dobbins, and Chris Carson get drafted, I guess you have a little bit lower Darrell Henderson. There's not many more running backs, so I think I'm going to go running back here, maybe combination it with a wide receiver in this range. Um, Obviously, if like Calvin Ridley and like guys like Jefferson drop to me, I think I'm going to take them. But there's really not anyone that impresses me in this range. Like, I feel like I don't honestly don't like my Antonio Gibson pick here. For running backs, I'm comfortable with Kamara, Christian McCaffrey, Zeke, Derrick Henry, and Dalvin Cook as my running back one. Antonio Gibson, I feel like he's just setting me up to fail. I just feel like he's good, but he might be injury prone. I don't know. I also look like an absolute fly right now, and not in a good way. I mean, I look like the mosquito fly. Um, Anyways, that's irrelevant to the situation. So yeah, right now it's lined up that if everyone picks an order, I'll be getting a David Montgomery or J.K. Dobbins or Chris Carson. And my personal favorite out of those three is probably going to be David Montgomery, because he might not have the offense is going to be decent as he goes off the board right there already. So yeah, David Montgomery's not falling to me, but I like him this late in the draft because at the end of last year he was started to go off. He doesn't have any backfield competition, and he can catch passes, and he'll be their goal line back. So there's not much to not like about him. DeAndre Hopkins finally gets drafted there. He's been dealing with a little bit of an injury lately, so that's probably why he fell this low. We still got guys like DeAndre Swift, which I don't know if I trust just because of injury problems, and that is a terrible offense. Miles Sanders, I'm not drafting him really anywhere. I don't think I've drafted him this year. So right now I'm rocking with a running back and a tight end. The tight end's taken care of. That's good for me. But I do need to get a wide receiver here soon, because I don't want to be stuck with some guys that might not produce. I tend to normally wait on tight ends and quarterbacks. But Travis Kelce there sitting at, what was it, like value or pick number like 7? What am I drafting? Am I drafting 7 or 8? He was sitting there at round 1, number 8. So I felt like that was a good value on Travis Kelce, especially because of all the running backs I liked were gone. J.K. Dobbins goes there. So we got Chris Carson still on the board. He's my boy. But I don't know if I'd rather have him. I don't think I'm going to take him here, honestly. I don't think DeAndre Swift, Miles Sanders still on the board. Oh, okay, this is going to be a tough pick for me. So what I'm thinking is I got to get running back soon. Well, I only need one more here. Then I need to start getting some wide receivers. DeAndre Swift and Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders has a little bit of competition. Both offenses, I think, are going to be terrible. So I'm trying to stay away from them. Chris Carson, I feel like he's going to get a little bit of work. Rashad Penny's back, but I feel like Chris is going to get a lot of work. Do I think Chris falls back to me? I don't think Chris Carson falls back to me, and I like some other wide receivers in this range.
Quick,
So
make your pick!
Chris Carson first here. My running back room, see, that's not good. They're both their bye weeks are week 9. You don't want that, because you're kind of screwed on week 9. That's kind of like a guaranteed tank at the running back position. Chris Carson, I feel like he can fall inside of the top 10 if he gets the workload he did last year. I mean, he finished at running back, also have a period of injury. But I think he has an opportunity to finish in the top 10. So right now I've got Antonio Gibson, Chris Carson, and Travis Kelce. So running backs and tight end are taken care of for a while. Okay, so we're looking at wide receivers here. And we got guys like Terry McLaurin going, which I feel like I'm not drafting any Terry McLaurins. I'm not drafting any Amari Coopers either. DeAndre Swift and Miles Sanders might fall back to me, but I'm not too worried about them because I need to start getting wide receivers here. So now for wide receivers, I'm looking at who are the guys that are going to get targets, and who are the guys who are going to catch passes consistently. And two guys I'm looking at here are Allen Robinson and Robert Woods, are guys that I've been taking pretty commonly in this area. So Allen Robinson, his offense, it's probably going to be not as good as Robert Woods' offense, but I feel like Allen Robinson's the solidified number one for their team. They don't have many more pass catchers. I feel like Justin Fields might get the offense rolling a little bit, or Andy Dalton. I really like him here. I also like Robert Woods with Matthew Stafford taking snaps. But I feel like I can pass on Robert Woods here because I feel like his teammate might be still there once the draft falls back to me. As Cooper Kupp, I don't think he will be back. I know Allen Robinson's health. He's normally healthy. He performs with bad quarterbacks. I'm just going to go with Allen Robinson. I've had him every year of fantasy football, and he hasn't let me down yet, knock on wood. So right now we have running backs, wide receivers running back, tight end. I have a wide receiver here. So for my next picks here, are all the quarterbacks starting to go? Oh, no. Russell Wilson just went really early for some reason. So right now, unless I can get a good value on a quarterback or good value on a running back, it's stacking wide receivers for the next couple rounds. Guys that I hope fall back to me, like that I'm interested in this year, Robert Woods. Definitely, I'm liking Tyler Lockett and Cooper Kupp, even though Tyler Lockett stung me the second half of the year. If Chris Godwin, I get a good value on him, I'm not afraid to take him. Robert Woods goes off the board right there. So that takes him off my list. If Darrell Henderson falls to me, I might end up taking him just because he could be the lead running back all season, and he'll catch passes, get goal line work on an efficient offense. And yeah, so I feel like if he falls to me, that's a definite auto draft. We got 3 running backs sitting there at the top of the list. Plus we got Myles Gaskin sitting in the middle there. Myles Gaskin, I'm not drafting him anywhere just in case he's not their lead running back this year. He was good last year, but I feel like he's got a little bit of competition this year with the new draft pick, and you can't be ever too certain with Miami's backfield. DeAndre Swift goes there. I feel like that's a decent value if he can stay healthy down in the 5th round for DeAndre Swift. The last running back that I'm willing to take here, I'd be willing to take Miles Sanders or Darrell Henderson here if they fall to me. I have Darrell Henderson ranked a little bit above Miles Sanders personally, but we'll see how the draft falls here. I don't think I get either of them, so I'm going to start looking at wide receivers that are available. I'm not too high on DJ Moore because I've had him the last 2 years, and he's been too inconsistent for me. I have a consistent guy, but I need another consistent guy to go in my lineup here. I'm thinking of that Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods' teammate, might fall to me, which I'd be more happy with than Tyler Lockett. I feel like Cooper Kupp's going to be consistent this year with Matthew Stafford at quarterback. I feel like Stafford will throw 35 touchdowns. And who's he going to throw it to? He's going to throw it to Robert Woods. He's going to throw it to Cooper Kupp and maybe Tyler Higbee. So if you're splitting that, all those guys are probably going to average they could each get up to 10 touchdowns a piece throughout the year. And I really like that for Cooper Kupp, especially with him being a little bit of a deep threat. Darrell Henderson goes off the board there, so I don't have to worry about taking a running back here. Deontay Johnson, I'm not too hyped on him just because they have 3 guys that could be their number 1 wide receiver, Juju, Claypool, and Deontay Johnson. So I'm kind of staying away from those wide receivers. Julio, if he can stay healthy this year, this is a great value in the 5th round. However, he's having another injury spell right now, so I feel like that's not a great value. I'm trying to avoid him. If he falls a little bit lower, if he falls to me, I might take him, but injuries are a concern with me and Julio. We have a bad relationship because, I feel like if he gets hurt again like last year, that's a waste of a draft pick, but he goes anyway, so I don't have to worry about that. So up next, another tight end goes, Mark Andrews. He's the last, one of the decent tight ends to go. Okay. Myles Gaskin and Kareem Hunt go there, so I'm looking for wide receivers anyways. Do I want Tyler Lockett, who can be really inconsistent or really good, or Cooper Kupp? Cooper Kupp's their end zone guy in Los Angeles for the Rams. They like to target him in the red zone. They like to target him deep. There's not much not to like about Cooper Kupp here. I really like him here. I'm taking him as my wide receiver too. So we got Antonio Gibson, Chris Carson. I overpaid for Antonio Gibson. I don't like drafting him as my first running back. Chris Carson, I'm okay with him being my running back too. He has potential. I've had him all 3 years I played fantasy football. I've had Allen Robinson all 3 years I played fantasy football. Both consistent for me. Cooper Kupp, I'm glad to see him on the team. And Travis Kelce, as long as he's healthy, he's going to be a tight end. One, maybe the worst I think he'll do is like being the tight end 3 on the year. So that's a solidified number 1 tight end right there. And I get a solidified like maybe. See, I'm not comfortable with any of my wide receivers or running backs. I don't think they're going to be the number 1 guy. I think Allen Robinson and Cooper Kupp could definitely be top 10 guys. I think Gibson and Carson could both be top 10 guys, but I feel like it's a little bit of a stretch for them, so I'm not too comfortable, but I'm not uncomfortable with my roster right now. Like, I only have one number 1 guy, and that's Travis Kelce. I'd like to have at least 2, maybe 3 number 1 guys at this point, but this is where it might all change here with the quarterbacks being drafted in this area. There's 2 guys that I really like, and that's going to be Josh Allen and Kyler Murray. It's a little bit of a stretch here. Josh Allen goes, so Kyler Murray, if I can get him, I might. Let me just take a look at him. Last year, he was a quarterback 3. Very consistent, I will say. Toward the end of the year, he had a little bit of a slump. He's still got DeAndre Hopkins. He's got some running backs to check down to. He's going to be running the ball. Is he still on the board? Kyler is still on the board, but I don't think I'm interested in here. I think I'm going to get some depth. I had Tyler Lockett last year. He burnt me, but I think he's the best wide receiver option on the board still, in my opinion. I mean, DJ Moore, I kind of like him, but at the same time, Christian McCaffrey's back. I don't know how I feel about DJ Moore. I feel like he doesn't get enough touchdowns or looks in the end zone, and uncertain quarterback. We know Russell Wilson's good.
Make your pick.
We know Tyler Lockett's going to get his targets. So I'm going Tyler Lockett again. He started off the year really strong for me, carried me through the first 6 weeks, but after that, he kind of fell off. So I have him back on the roster. Right now, I might be looking for a quarterback if I can get someone like a Kyler or Lamar or an Aaron Rodgers. If any of them fall to me here with my next pick in the 7th round, I'm definitely taking them. I'm probably only going to record until the 8th, maybe 9th round, just because no one likes those late rounds, because, I don't know, I'm probably not going to get many views on this video anyways, because it's so poor quality and all recorded with my phone, but it's just entertaining for me, and hopefully some people enjoy watching it. If you're watching this far into the video, I'll just have a keyword to comment down, what's an NFL player? Comment down Kyler Murray. If you're still watching at this point in the video, comment down Kyler Murray. You're a real one if you're still watching at this point. Or you're just entertained. I mean, that could be the case, because I really at work, I like listening to mock drafts and seeing what people's opinions on players. DJ Moore goes there. If I ended up with him as my wide receiver 3, I wouldn't be mad, but I'm glad someone else took him. So right now, I'd be getting a running back 3 or a wide receiver 4 or a quarterback 1. There's no running backs in here. I mean, Chase Edmonds could be decent, but I don't know. He's splitting time with the maybe injured James Conner. We don't know what to expect with him. So I'm thinking maybe quarterback, running back here, or running back, wide receiver, depending on the value. Sorry, I have allergies right now. But hopefully you guys like my backdrop. I think it looks kind of neat. But anyways here, Brandon Ayuk goes. I'm not high on any of the San Francisco wide receivers, so I'm just going to leave that for him. George Kittle, I'm not even very excited about this year, even though last year he was being taken right before or right after Travis Kelce. So interesting there. I'm trying to avoid Dak Prescott. Kyler goes right there. So I won't be drafting Kyler, which is a bummer, but it might save me a pick here. Kyler goes in the 7th round, which might be a good value for him. I feel like he's probably a top 5 guy this year, especially with Deshaun Watson not expected to really do anything in the fantasy realm this year or really in the NFL. So right now, if I can get a good value on quarterback, I'm going quarterback, but I'm just going to take the best available player that I can get here. So out of these guys, I'm not excited about Galladay or Cortland Sutton. They've both got poor camp reports that they're not looking great. Juju, he's not the he's like tied for wide receiver one, so he's not like a solidified guy. No. T. Higgins, I don't trust that offense. Burrow isn't looking great. He's still not healthy. Odell, too inconsistent for me. Claypool, same boat as Juju. Laviska Shenault. For my wide receiver four, okay, Mike Davis goes there. I was hoping to get him. I don't really want Laviska Shenault, but if I have to take him, I'll get him. Chase Edmonds. Interesting for me here. He's being drafted pretty high for what he is. He's in a timeshare. It's supposed to be, they're projected to be 50-50 unless James Conner is still hurting. Let's go look at what ESPN says the newest James Conner news is. So he wasn't participating in one-on-ones. So he didn't participate, in 11-on-11s or 7-on-7s. That's not good. But that's good news for Chase Edmonds. So right here, I'm not Robbie Anderson and Brandon Cooks. See, I like Brandon Cooks because he's the wide receiver one on his team, but I don't know who's throwing him the ball. Robbie Anderson, he's either wide receiver, I think he's wide receiver 3 because Christian McCaffrey and DJ Moore are probably going to get more targets. I'm not afraid of taking Robbie here because I feel like he can get end zone targets and he can take the ball to the end zone here, but I'm not too impressed with anything. I don't know. I don't see any running backs I'm liking in this area. Definitely not a James Robinson drafter right now. I think I might go Robbie here, but Brandon Cooks is the only thing stopping me from going Robbie here. Brandon Cooks, he's been top 17 wide receiver every year. I don't see that changing. He's not injured right now, knock on wood. And if Deshaun Watson's back for at least half the season, and he's literally like Brandon Cooks, he'll be a decent wide receiver there as my wide receiver 4. I'm looking quarterback or running back next pick. Chase Edmonds goes right there. See, it like makes me grimace, but I'm not like mad that he went because it's not a guy that I was too invested in. See right here, I'd be tempted to go Robbie Anderson again, but I'm not getting another pick for a while, and I feel like there is. Okay, so Herbert's sitting right there. I don't see. I might try to get some depth here. I'm going to try to get some depth. I don't see any. Oh, no, Lamar's still on the board. If Lamar falls to me, I'm taking him. He's out for 10 days, but it's still training camp. Yeah, so he won't return till. So, yeah, he's fine. He's fine. Oh, no, there goes Lamar as I say it. That's unfortunate. Let me just see what quarterbacks are still available here. Herbert's the next one. Okay, so this is tough. This is tough for me. All the quarterbacks that I like are gone. Herbert, I like Herbert though. I feel like that offense could be pretty good with Herbert there. It is a little bit of a reach in the draft to get him, or I can try to pick up some depth here, but there isn't many depth pieces to get. So James Robinson goes. I was kind of considering him. So right now, who goes before Damian Harris? He's interesting, but he would be. I don't have a running back 3. I don't want him as my running back 3 because I feel like that's very. That's just not what I want right now. Okay, don't judge me. That's not what I want right now. David Johnson. I feel like I can get him as my next running back. Do I get Robbie here? Is the question.
Quick, make your pick.
I feel like I gotta go Herbert. I'm trapped here. I wanted Robbie Anderson, but I didn't want to be stuck with a bad quarterback. I know Herbert, it's only his second year, but we kind of know what he has to work with. He's got good weapons with Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, and Mike Williams if they're all healthy. He got a 2 upgrades to his offensive line in the offseason. I feel like that offense is going to be rolling. Herbert's going to be reaping the benefit, getting a little bit of rushing in there, and definitely a lot of passing. I'm definitely comfortable in my roster. I don't think it's going to be like a ton of number 1 guys. Like, I don't know how I feel about Herbert. I feel like he's top 10. I feel like all my guys right here have potential to be top 10, maybe outside of Brandon Cooks. So I'm comfortable with that, but I only see one guy coming in first place, and that's Travis Kelce. I think Gibson. I don't see any of my guys having the potential to become number one guys. Um, Maybe Allen Robinson, maybe Cooper Kupp. There'd be. I think they could both hit top five if they get really lucky with touchdowns. Okay, I'll throw a couple more rounds here and show you some of the guys that I like to be drafting late in drafts. Even though late draft picks are always, no one likes drafting late in drafts unless you're really smart. I would consider myself above average at fantasy football. I do a little bit of research before every season. Like, I'm not like the average guy that you draft with, like one of your buddies at home who just drafts like Mahomes in the first round. Like, I kind of know what I'm doing here. My roster construction's pretty decent right now. I need another running back, but I'm not going to overpay for one here when I can get another wide receiver in case mine don't pan out. But I really like the four wide receivers I have right now. Brandon Cooks, I don't know how I feel about him right now. I just said right now like 10 times. I don't care. But Brandon Cooks, he's okay if I have to start him. It depends on who his quarterback is. I was feeling better about him earlier this year, but I don't know how I'm feeling right now. So right now I'm gonna be in the Michael Gallup, Deebo Samuel, and I really like Michael Gallup if Amari Cooper has to miss some games. I like him. Will Fuller goes, Chark goes, Judy goes, Tyler Boyd goes. Tyler Boyd, I don't like him this year. I liked him last year. So I see a few guys that I might like here. I might like to draft. There's really three guys that I like in this area, and I think there's a really good value here that I have actually read a lot of good reports about, nothing but hype about. But I'll let you guys know about that a little bit later here. I almost want to double up on running backs here. I almost want to. So my guys right in this range are Jarvis Landry. He's going to be the wide receiver 1 or wide receiver 2 on that team. He's going to get tons of targets. Last year he ended the season only with 72 receptions, but he ended up as the wide receiver 33. If he puts that number up 30 more receptions, he's a good wide receiver at this range. Antonio Brown. Look at the production he had. He's like a budget Chris Godwin that you're getting like 6 rounds over in Chris Godwin. And Damian Harris I like here. But I need a running back. I'm actually going to go Damian Harris because if you think about it, minus James White, Sony Michel isn't going to take many carries from him, and Rex Burkhead isn't there anymore. So Sony Michel, maybe he has 5-6 carries a game. Damian Harris gets 10. He's going to get at least 10 carries a game. He's going to get probably at least 2 to 3 catches a game. James White's probably going to get like 3 to 5 catches a game. And he's probably going to get most of the goal line work, unless Cam Newton's the starter. So I'm comfortable with him as a running back in this area. But I'm also targeting, where is he? Did he go? David Johnson already went. So that kind of makes my pick easier for me in this range. Because I don't really like any of the running backs down here. Though I do need another one. Mostert's still on the board. But I'm honestly thinking Antonio Brown here. Because they've got, I don't know, Tom Brady and him. They're just boys. And Antonio Brown. If it's Antonio Brown, like, we know what we're going to get. We're going to get, like, a touchdown and, like, 50 yards and, like, 5 catches, like, minimum. So I like that. Him and Jarvis Landry, I think, are both values here. I like Antonio Brown for his upside and what he can do. I'll do 2 more rounds, actually. I'll go into the 12th round, going a little bit further than I thought I was going to, but that is only because I'm getting some meat down here, you know what I'm saying? And I mean that in the least sus way by saying I'm getting some meat. That's kind of sus. But my roster construction is good right now. I have good wide receiver depth. I have 5 good wide receivers: Antonio Brown, Brandon Cooks, Tyler Lockett, Cooper Kupp, Allen Robinson. My running backs: Antonio Gibson and Chris Carson. Damian Harris, he's a starting running back, and I got him in like the 9th round. I think that's pretty good value. Travis Kelce, he's good. Herbert, we're hoping on him being good again. But yeah, we'll wrap up these 2 next picks, and I'll rate my own team and be honest about it. Like, I'll be honest to you guys about it. This, and I'll give myself like a grade. So I could use another running back in this area. What I'm thinking is, so Jalen Reagor just went. I'm thinking Cole Beasley might not even play. Marvin Jones, I don't trust him. He's too old. Mike Williams, he could definitely get 1,000 yards and maybe even like he can be their touchdown guy, and he could be like their good wide receiver too if he stays healthy. He just went off the board, so I'm not drafting him. I don't want Cole Beasley. Zach Moss, I don't know because Josh Allen gets goal line carries and Devin Singletary's still there. I don't really trust it. Leonard Fournette, again, I don't trust it. James Conner, I don't trust his health. But I need another running back here. So it's between Zach Moss and Ronald Jones for me. Ronald Jones started as a starter last year, and he was a starter until he got hurt. Zach Moss, he's going to get work. This is tough for me because I don't really want
Quick, make your pick.
I think I might take two running backs. I might end up with two running backs here, but I'm gonna go Zach Moss first. I was running out of time there, so I kind of like panic picked. I'm gonna go Zach Moss first because he is gonna be their starting running back over Devin Singletary. Whether he does good, I don't know. He's probably not even gonna see my starting lineup except maybe once this season. But I'm going to try to get a little bit more depth. I'd be comfortable with James Conner because he's going to be like a Kenyon Drake of last year if he was healthy, but he is not healthy right now, so I'm not drafting him. So with my last pick here, I'm probably either going to go with, if I get a good quarterback value, I'm going to go with that, or I'm looking at Ronald Jones at running back here. So Marvin Jones Jr. goes, Leonard Fournette goes. I think Leonard Fournette's going before Ronald Jones, but Ronald Jones, I trust him more. See, if James Conner, if I knew he was going to be healthy, I'd be taking him here, but I don't know if he's going to be healthy. But I mean, I guess Chase Edmonds is going to be getting a lot of pass catching. I got to go with Ronald Jones here, okay? That was a tough pick. James Conner isn't going to catch passes, and he might not even be healthy. So Herbert, if I had to give myself a grade from like A to F on the letter grading scale, I give him like a B. I feel like he's going to be solid. He's going to get everything that has to be done. I give Gibson, for what I had to pay for him, I'll give him an A minus. Okay, like that's good. I'll give Chris Carson a B. Give Allen Robinson an A minus. I give Cooper Kupp an A minus. Travis Kelce an A plus. Tyler Lockett, I'll give him a B plus. My bench looks okay. I mean, I got 3 running backs, 2 wide receivers that I trust that I have to play. I'd give my overall draft like a B right here because I only have one number 1 guy, and that's Travis Kelce, but everything else is solid. If you found this entertaining, then you can subscribe or follow me and like the video, and let me know if you made it to the very end. Comment down Chris Carson, okay? And with that was my mock draft for the 2021 season. Thanks for watching, boys. I appreciate it. Hopefully you're entertained, and peace out. Have a great drafting season.